fans, she's a brave young actress navigating the impossible. To her critics, she's an amateur digging her own career grave with a gold-plated shovel. And now, all roads lead to 2025, when the film finally hits theaters. If it's a hit, maybe the critics will quiet down, and Rachel can ride off into the Hollywood sunset. If it bombs, she'll be joining the long list of what could have been Hollywood careers. Disney's bigger problem: the House of Mouse is crumbling. This isn't just about Snow White. This is about Disney's entire brand crumbling under the weight of its own contradictions. For decades, Disney was the gold standard for family entertainment, a studio that created magic. Now, it's desperately flailing, trying to be everything to everyone and pleasing no one. Let's talk about Lightyear 2022, because this isn't the first time Disney has lost touch with its audience. Toy Story fans love Buzz Lightyear, so his origin movie should have been a slam dunk, right? Wrong. Instead of keeping Tim Allen as Buzz's voice, Disney replaced him with Chris Evans, alienating die-hard fans. The film also got dragged into a culture war, with some accusing Disney of prioritizing social messaging over storytelling. The result? A box office train wreck. And now, Snow White is heading in the same direction, a film that nobody asked for, made by a studio that seems clueless about its own audience. Rachel Zegler, from Hollywood darling to cautionary tale. Just a couple of years ago, Rachel Zegler was Hollywood's golden girl, a fresh-faced starlet with a lead role in a Spielberg film, a Disney contract, and a promising career ahead. Then came the interviews. Then came the social media rants. Then came the disrespect for the legacy of Snow White. She wasn't just seen as outspoken. She was seen as disconnected, ungrateful, and completely out of touch with the audience she was supposed to win over. And in today's world, that's a career killer. Hollywood stars used to have the luxury of mystery, a carefully curated image that let audiences imagine them as larger-than-life figures. But in the age of Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, actors don't just act, they constantly interact. And every tweet, every comment, every offhand remark can snowball into a scandal. Zegler's downfall isn't just about her, it's a warning for Hollywood as a whole. Disney's identity crisis. Chasing woke, losing magic, Disney is desperately juggling nostalgia and progressivism, and it's failing at both. They pander to Twitter activists who probably don't even buy movie tickets, while alienating the lifelong fans who made Disney what it is. The pattern is clear. Lightyear bombed. The Marvels flopped. Indiana Jones 5 lost millions. And now, Snow White 2025 is shaping up to be another disaster in the making. At this rate, even Mickey Mouse might start looking for a new job. The verdict: a fairy tale or a horror story. So, where does that leave us? With a Snow White remake that nobody wants, starring an actress who has managed to alienate half the country, backed by a studio that's fumbling its own identity. And with every misstep, audiences are starting to ask themselves a very real question. Why? Not just watch the original? If Rachel Zegler and Disney don't pull off a miracle, this fairy tale is about to have a very unhappy ending. Disney's identity crisis, chasing trends, losing magic audiences aren't fooled. They can smell corporate virtue signaling a mile away, and they're not buying it. Snow White 2025 is now on shaky ground, not just because of its controversial lead actress, but because Disney seems clueless about the hole they've dug themselves into. Disney used to be the gold standard for magical escapes, a place for fairy tales, unforgettable characters, and that warm, nostalgic feeling of simpler times. But now, it feels more like a soapbox for every trending talking point. The problem? When you try to please everyone, you end up with a bland, soulless mess that no one actually enjoys. Rachel Zegler. From rising star to PR nightmare, take Rachel Zegler, for example. She's been making headlines, but for all the wrong reasons. Her comments about Snow White didn't just ruffle feathers, they practically set the internet on fire. But here's the thing about Hollywood. It loves a good redemption arc. Zegler is young, talented, and has time to turn things around. The question is, will she? A scripted apology won't cut it. If she wants to win back fans, she needs to own her missteps, respect the classics, and stop biting the hand that feeds her. Audiences can sniff out fake sincerity from a mile away. And right now, her reputation is hanging by a thread. Disney's bigger problem? Losing the magic. But Zegler isn't the only one with an issue. Disney itself is in serious trouble. The House of Mouse built its empire on being family-friendly, wholesome, and magical. From toddlers to grandparents, it was the go-to brand for timeless entertainment. But lately, it feels like they've completely lost the plot. Instead of focusing on creating genuine, heartfelt stories, they seem more interested in chasing applause from Twitter. Let's be clear, inclusivity and representation are important. But when they feel like a forced checklist rather than an organic part of storytelling, audiences notice. When messaging overtakes storytelling, you're not making art, you're making propaganda. The real villain? Disney's disconnect from its fans. Disney seems to think that fans are the problem, that if people push back, it's because they're resistant to change. Wrong. The real issue is the massive gap between what Disney thinks people want and what they actually want. Audiences used to turn to Disney for escapism and wonder, not to sit through lectures or heavy-handed agendas, and the results are obvious. Lightyear flopped, The Marvels bombed, Indiana Jones 5 barely scraped by. Now Snow White looks like another disaster waiting to happen. Disney isn't making magic anymore, they're chasing trends and failing miserably at it. Time for Disney to get back to basics. Let's be real, nostalgia can only carry you so far. Sure, we all love a good throwback, but reboots and remakes aren't enough to keep the magic alive. And this endless pandering, it's not fooling anyone. Disney's biggest strength has always been storytelling, and that's what people want. Not half-baked messages dressed up as entertainment, not political agendas disguised as fairy tales, just great stories, filled with wonder and imagination. If Disney keeps going down this road, they're going to alienate their core audience and end up with nothing. It's time to ditch the trends, forget the politics, and focus on what made Disney legendary in the first place: unforgettable stories. People want to believe in magic again. Real magic, not the manufactured kind. Disney doesn't need to be everything to everyone. It just needs to be Disney. What do you think? Are reboots and remakes ruining creativity and entertainment? Or is this exactly what audiences deserve? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.